I want SBR videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and next to me is Mike Brenner. This is the Major League Baseball Odds Couple show for Tuesday, April 5th. Mike Brenner, baseball's only 2 days old. Do you feel like are you still feeling out the teams and everything?
There's no doubt. That takes
a
long
lot
time.
of teams,
right?
That could take 30 teams.
Of course, it could take 2 weeks to really feel it out. But there's a few that stick their head out, and you think you got a good call, a good judge on it. Kind of like that Villanova game last night in college basketball that we went 1-1 on.
Mike Brenner, you called it, but on the other hand, when you look at the game, I mean, it kind of could have gone either way.
No, it could have.
Even the total landed
but I just
right
think
on,
the momentum made the difference because everyone kept saying they're thinner underneath. And I know this is a baseball show. Bottom line, it was a great call. But I had a good feeling for that. My gut felt it. So.
Well, let's move on to what people really want to hear today is baseball. We'll review our picks from yesterday. Let's put the graphic up on the screen. All right, we both had a winner, Mike Brenner. Can't ask for more than that.
First and foremost, I got to shake your hand because yesterday, and I don't even think you remembered it, you took the over in the Giants game, and at one point you said, well, if Bumgarner shuts down, I think the Giants might get all the runs themselves.
Well, I said I hope
they did, and they did, plus some. But yeah, you nailed that, buddy.
Hey, listen, I liked it. Hopefully this will continue. God, Lord willing.
And I think for my pick, I think the Cubs, I think the players came out and played for Madden. They believe in this guy. Absolutely. He has them thinking that game one is as important as the last game of the season. I like it. I like
in general, you got to be careful taking road favorites like that, but I trust you, Mike Brenner. Yeah. That was a call that you nailed. All right, so we got Tuesday, April 5th, a bunch of games. Again, I'm still feeling out these teams. I know in like 2 weeks I'm going to totally have a perfect read in this, and I'm not even going to be able to remember being uncertain.
That's usual for everybody.
A lot of interesting situations. The first one, I'll tell you what I bet, and then you tell me about it. I did on the overnight. I took a shot with the under in Seattle, Texas. Now Texas is not as much of a hitter's park as it has been recently. Iwakuma is a guy who usually pitches well against Texas. Obviously, health is an issue for him. All the in his career, all the reports as of right now are that he's okay. Perez is coming back from Tommy John surgery in his career, and at times had looked great in the past.
Absolutely,
he had a really good first start where he had a new sinker ball. Could he come out here and get shelled? Obviously, but I took a shot at the under 8.5.
I think that might be a safe play because yesterday, even though there was two different pitchers on the mound and two very good pitchers, the bats didn't light it up yesterday in that ballpark. So you might be onto something there. I almost pulled the trigger on the under yesterday in that game, which would have been a good call.
In our show, I said that I was leaning that way.
I know,
didn't have the
sure
balls
were.
to take it.
Yep.
All right,
get them balls, Pistol Pete. Come on, it's baseball season.
And then we have another interesting series, maybe the most interesting series of all these series, which is the Mets at KC. Right, KC defending champion. The Mets with high expectations, and the Mets was just an unbelievable pitching staff, right? Just one ace after another, and today we have another one, Syndergaard, right?
But you know what? I got to interject real quick because last year it was the same talk in the beginning. Kansas City's old. They already had their run in 2014. And then game one, I know it was only one game, but the Royals came out looking like the Royals.
Sure.
I mean, the Hosmer, this is a good team.
Yeah, they're good. I think they're a good team. The question is just, are they overvalued or not? And it's hard to say. Chris Young is starting for KC, and he's definitely a bit of a wild card. He's one of those guys who could easily throw 7 shutout innings or could get lit up.
Shellacked.
Right,
he has been known to get shellacked.
So I would also, this is another one that I would be leaning towards the under. It's actually 8 right now.
Wow.
It's 8 market wide, and I feel like Syndergaard should have a good game. The only question is, will Young get hit hard?
And that's it. I got a feeling the Mets might unload today.
You think so?
I just got a gut feeling. I almost used them on my play, which I'm not, but something tells me Mets are getting ready to explode offensively. Whether it's game 2 or 3 of this series, something's going to happen.
All right, and then another interesting game, which has me thinking maybe under. We're just talking about all these games. There's a lot of games to talk about. Toronto at Tampa Bay. The first 2 games, obviously Toronto has phenomenal offense. Tampa Bay, very good defensive team. They tend to go under at home. The first 2 games went to 8, and today's total is 8. Sanchez and Odorizzi, both those guys have been pitching well. Sanchez is a young guy who has a ton of potential, and Odorizzi, of course.
And Odorizzi, he's got command on his pitch. He really does.
He had a great year last year. People are talking about how this might be a breakout year for him, although it wouldn't really be a breakout year because he had a great year last year. I think I would lean towards the under at 8. What do you think about that? Toronto's
I don't know.
Big lineup.
See, Toronto last year, at least every 2 to 3 games, you were seeing them put up 11 or 12 runs. And that's the offense they have. But we haven't seen that yet, so that's what scares me off of that one, Pistol Pete. But
and then quickly, let's talk about Justin Verlander and Chen in Miami. Now Verlander was chronically overvalued for a long period of time, but at the end of last year came on strong.
At the end,
refound his fastball, refound everything, and
he's messed up with one of them Hollywood actresses girls. Anyway, I don't know which one, so I'm not going to put it out there.
We all have.
Bottom line, he just kind of took his attention away, and I think he refocused last year. But what did he do during the offseason knowing this is a team that has basically imploded?
Yeah.
Rebuilding, if you look up the word rebuilding in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of the Detroit Tigers pitching staff.
Yeah, so
They got the worst ranked pitching staff in all of baseball.
Yeah, so I would kind of be leaning towards Miami here, except a shutout from Verlander would absolutely not shock anyone.
Well, guess what? I think him getting shellacked wouldn't surprise anyone either. The way he's pitched early on the last couple seasons, he gets shellacked early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a whole different dynamic in Miami. Now, the big thing where they thought Fernandez was going to get the start.
Yeah.
But
Mattingly, very solid.
Yeah, Chase, and he's had 30-plus starts the last 3 seasons, so Mattingly knows what to do with this ball club. I'm telling you, you might see an explosion down there if Giancarlo Stanton, whatever his name, if he gets going. I'm staying off of it. I'm staying off of that.
It's tempting. They're a home dog. They're a home dog. It's all the way. There's a plus 110 at Heritage, plus 115 at SIA. Pinnacle has plus 108, so that is tempting. Yeah. And then the other game that let's quickly talk about is big matchup. David Price and Corey Kluber, and I was.
Are you sure it's not snowing or something in New York today?
Yeah, probably that game will be canceled in Cleveland. But I was tempted to take that one on the overnight. It was minus 104. Now it's on Cleveland. Now it's gone up a little bit, and it's like 105, 108 market wide. David Price often doesn't start the season very well a lot of times. And Kluber, after won the Cy Young, was pretty clearly overvalued, but he had a good spring. He gets his strikeouts, and he might.
And I heard Kluber had one of the best conditioning off seasons he's had since he's been pitching.
Yeah.
So that's if that tells you anything.
All right.
Some people buckle down and some don't, Pete. But that's an interesting call. I almost had a play on that one, but. Again, especially after a game gets delayed, you wonder where their heads are.
Right.
So I'm just going to stay off, man.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to give as an official pick. I've given all my opinions.
Well, yesterday you came into the show, said you had no picks, and guess what? So you gave one.
Yeah.
And I didn't pull it out of you.
No, I'll give something. I'm just not sure which one I'm going to give. Okay, let's hear which ones.
All right, I'm going, and again, guys, I'm not jumping on any bandwagon or anything. I'm telling you, there's value early. It's finding that value, and for me, it's coming through managerial reasons. Bottom line, I think the Cubs are going to get it done today with John Lester, the lefty. On the mound. The Angels have no momentum. This team has literally been overvalued and underachieving for 5 or 6 years. So the Cubs have quietly put together one of the best rosters in baseball. And again, they're buying what this coach is selling. I'm going with the Cubs. I grabbed it at the Greek at minus 128.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yep. As always with baseball, line shopping really does matter.
And that's what you do best, and you're teaching me that.
That's what everyone should do. And the best line right now is at the Greek. That's a major book, so that's not a cheap line.
As you always say to me then, Pete, what do you think of my play? What do you think?
I think it's good. The problem is Haney can be very effective as well. It makes me. I'm not doubting you. It makes me nervous, though. It makes me nervous taking the Cubs as a road favorite like that. But I'm certainly not doubting you. I had the same feeling about your play yesterday, and it absolutely won. And in retrospect, it's probably the right side. Okay, minus 128 on the Cubs. What's your next play?
My second play, and I like this again. Dynamics in baseball. Analytics and numbers and all that and trends. It's absolutely proven. The numbers don't lie. But I like a different angle in what I do and how I do it. And the Giants today have Johnny Cueto on the mound. Yeah. They acquired him from the Royals. The guy won a World Series. Really, he was inconsistent throughout the year, but really put it on in the end. So he steps in. He's familiar with the Milwaukee Brewers clubhouse because when he pitched for that ballpark, because when he pitched for the Reds, he played there quite a bit and pitched there quite a bit. But here's another thing. Giants yesterday did something. When you get 3 back-to-back home runs, what that does early in the season, it builds confidence. Says, my God, we got a ball club here. And I'm telling you, Posey, this catcher, I love this kid. He's the leader of that team and has been.
Don't you think they already knew they had a ball club before they hit 3 back-to-back home runs? I mean, they were.
Pete, bottom line, this was an out-of-control, inconsistent team at times last year. I think they've buckled down. I found it at the Greek on the money line, minus 130.
Well, we're going to give you minus 129, which is the line of Pinnacle. Why not? Take the best line.
That's it.
If Pinnacle has a line, obviously, a lot limits are huge.
And again, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Milwaukee is absolutely this is a team that's gone through rebuilding as well. Yeah. Had a lot of veteran, older talent 2 or 3 years ago when they had Hart and all this.
Right.
And they let those players go. You got what? Ryan Braun?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on this Milwaukee
I think
team?
you're right. I think that at some point during the season, Cueto might become a little bit or wildly overvalued.
Absolutely.
Because he's had health issues and he's fading. He's declining a little bit.
I literally went against him so many times in Chicago, picking my spots and hit it. But I just think
we're not talking about June right now. We're talking about April 5th.
You're damn right.
All right, Mike Brenner.
That's
excellent.
my 2 plays.
All right, okay. Yeah. Now what should I? You know what? I guess
Don't
I'll
ask
give
me what should you. I'm hoping you pull something out, Pete.
Cleveland with Corey Kluber and Price. It seems like it's okay, right?
Yeah.
What would your gut be? That was where you were leaning?
Yeah, I had a lean on it. Yeah, I was definitely leaning on it. But
I mean, David Price is awesome.
yeah, I know, but I thought that too. I remember when he first got traded last year, when he went to Toronto, I thought, hey, I'm jumping on that bush. Shit, he killed me. I'm staying off. I'm not sold on David Price. He doesn't show up to the big games. Now, is opening day classified as a big game? You're damn right it does.
Cleveland is a team that just one way or another tends to disappoint, but I'll take him here. It's a low price. It's minus 105 at Bookmaker and DSI and just bet at the Chris Books. Cleveland minus 105, and then the Seattle and Texas under 8.5. What do you think about that?
Well, we've talked about it. Anything could happen though. There could be an explosion.
Yeah.
But these are two clubs that are totally different.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough one.
Well,
that is a
that's
tough
on you,
one.
Pistol Pete. I just can't take any responsibility.
I'll stick with just Cleveland right now for minus 105.
Okay, all right. Now I'll review mine. I'm going with the Cubs. I got them at minus 128 at the Greek on the money line, and going with the Giants minus 129.
All right. At Pinnacle.
Yes, at
That's
Pinnacle.
right.
So
Mike
I like
Brenner.
it. I'm looking forward to a good, profitable Major League Baseball season.
is so different from basketball and even hockey. There's so many more statistics, so many more things to think about. We could do a show on a card for 2 hours.
And with that being said, because I only have a couple picks and Pete has a pick, check out our sports picks page. All right, and for Major League Baseball, we got some great authors that are doing some great writing. They're handicappers as well and releasing their picks. So make sure you check that out, and also tune in for the NBA Odds Couple show because I'm feeling it, baby.
And we'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday MLB card.
Great show.